Hello everyone, this is Tamara Danayev and welcome to my Module 2 for the DNP Online Orientation course. So Module 2 has 2 units in it, a unit on College of Nursing Resources and a unit on preparing your laptop. This information currently introduces the module to my peer reviewer and to Joni, and it talks about how I've duplicated the unit introductions in SoftChalk as well as in the PDF because my SoftChalk license expired, and so I wasn't sure if how long these would be around. It also explains that I've duplicated this self-assessment quiz, again because I wasn't sure if I would be able to use the SoftChalk module. And so this is the same quiz found in the SoftChalk module in addition to the actual quiz. So taking a look here, let's start with my learning guide. And my learning guide, I'm going to go ahead and close these. Learning guide here is clearly has the module title as well as the course title in it. And it has the learning objectives clearly stated. These are the same learning objectives that are on my course calendar, and found right here is for week 3 and week 4 that are for unit 3 and unit 4. The assessments and assignments are directly related, exactly the same ones that are found on the learning guide. So my resources for my required content are here. It doesn't look like a lot, but really I'm referring them to the Carmen content for Module 2, which is I've included everything that they need in the Module 2 content. There are some student web sections hyperlinked in Module 2, and then there is technology assistance linked to the Module 2 content, and that is in the SoftChalk modules that we'll see. So each unit also has a SoftChalk introduction. So there's a unit introduction as well as this module introduction. So my learning activities here are clearly stated. You can see I've got my required activities and my optional activities. They're very specific. I want them to read specific content, so all of the Carmen content, and you'll see that is a lot. But I don't expect them to know it all. I expect them to know where to find it when they need it, really. So I want them to review the DNP handbook again just to get a sense of what's in there, and it tells them what they don't need to cover because it's already been looked at in Module 1, so what they need is left in Module 2 for the handbook. Hopefully that made sense. There's some policies I want them to look at specifically in the handbook. There are some presentations that I've included in the Carmen content and these links to our student web resources. So there's more optional information. I would really like them to do these as well, and I think that would be very beneficial, but it's a lot of information, so I don't want to overwhelm them. So the assessments are clearly listed. The point values are listed, so either not graded or 10 points. The due date is clearly listed, and they're told where to find this information. So how it should be submitted, it's pretty easy once you get into the quiz. So when you complete the Carmen quiz, it takes you through the submission process. And then again, the same for week 4, unit 4. I have specific files that I want them to look through from the Carmen content. I tell them to download and print the technology recommendations file because I want them to use that as a resource as they're preparing their laptop. And this says they not only read over the file and set up the laptop as required for the program, but it also tells them that additional information on some of those requirements can also be found in the Module 2 content. They have to purchase a headset. I want them to look at these policies, and then I tell them to download the checklist of computer requirements. Optional are to review these websites, and then their assessments are to complete the computer requirements checklist. They're told how many points it is and when it's due, and then they're to submit the checklist to the Carmen Dropbox. So these are all, tied together here. The citations, I'm going to say, they just confuse me. Everything that I'm linking in here or I'm asking them to look at has either been created by the Ohio State University or by the College of Nursing. And within the College of Nursing, I created a lot of it, and then the IT staff created a lot of it. So it's all it's all, I don't know, controlled by us. And I'm just, yeah, I'm going to say I just don't understand the citations. So, moving along, I tried though. So, moving along, at the top of this Module 2, we have the Learning Guide for Module 2, and then we have the units. So, College of Nursing Resources has its own unit introduction, and again, these are soft chalk modules. I really enjoy soft chalk because of its ability to chunk the information. So here I talk about the College of Nursing and the IT department. There's hyperlinks to the website for technology resources and the email. And then the website, a little bit more about the website. So I've kind of looked at some specifics there. And then on page 2, I talk about the student web, which is an intranet we'll take a look at in a bit. And then page 3, I talk about student affairs, the faculty and staff, and then I ask them to take the self-assessment quiz here. So for each of the self-assessment quiz questions, there's a hint which allows them to pretty much get the answer, and then they can check the answer. So it gives them the correct response, and in some cases, if they don't understand the hint and they get it wrong anyway, when they check the answer, there is a description of what actually, a rationale for why they got it wrong. So, and they can do that as many times as they want. So going back, so that is working my self-assessment in. So looking at this other page here, module components. So my learning resources are present. So there's, again, we had the module level learning guide here, and then a unit level learning guide. This is just a PDF that duplicates this information again because I thought soft chalk was going to disappear on me. The other things that they need to complete the learning activities listed in the learning guide are included in the content. So there's the handbook they have to go through. These are PDFs that I've created of different things that they need that'll just be helpful. So here's one on registration. This is originally a PowerPoint. I turned them into PDFs. It gives them a nicely chunked way of looking for different information. And again, I want them to read this and know where to look for it later on. I want to at least put it inside their heads. So this gives them screenshots of what they can expect, how to do different things. So I describe it on the page, and then the next page I'll have a screenshot of, okay, you're looking at view all sections. You can tell there's more sections. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into it. But I've done these PDFs for registration, tuition, financial aid, because those are the things I get the most questions on. And then I made one for resources. So, because there's a lot of resources at Ohio State, but if students don't know where to find it, it's not helpful. So there's university resources here, and then I go into academic resources, diversity resources, wellness resources, housing resources. I think you get the picture. So, and these, in the student web, these hyperlinks actually work. I'm not sure why they're not working here, but these work. So here's the student web. We have, different sections, and under the student affairs section, as you can see, there's a file that I have created, which is advising tips. So there's all kinds of things. So if you have a question on the benefit limits for Ohio State employees, how to enroll as a postmaster's, what about the individual study form, all of that information, all these questions that I get asked, I've created these and put them here. So I want students to be aware of this resource, as well as the DNP resources page itself. So there's another page that is, again, under student affairs. There's the DNP documents and resources section. And again, everything we think you might possibly need is here. So if I can get the students to look at this and explore the student web, they will be all the better for it. So that's the idea. Let's see. So the learning activities, again, directly relate to the objectives of familiarizing them with the College of Nursing resources. There is a self-assessment option or opportunity here, and The assignments directly relate to the objectives as well. So looking at the actual Carmen quiz, this will be probably the only quiz, the self-assessment quiz in Carmen will go away since I can use SoftChalk for that, but it explains it, tells them that where the content can be found, that the answers are found within these resources. The grade will count for the overall grade, and the higher grade of the 2 attempts will be taken. It tells them that there's hints and feedback is available. Again, 2 times allowed to take it, and the highest attempt will be taken. So when they actually go into the quiz, and again, this is going to look a little different since I'm the instructor for the course, but let's just go ahead and mark these all true and see what happens. There's hints for all of these as well. So the hints don't quite give them the answer. This is a little harder than the self-assessment one, but the hints should help them out enough that they get the right answers. And if they don't, there is feedback that will tell them why. So if they got this wrong, it'll tell them what they got wrong, what the question was, and then why they got it wrong. So they can learn, and then they can retake the quiz. Okay, so, and I think using the SoftChalk modules and the quizzes, as well as these PowerPoints and hyperlinks, are all things that will support their learning objectives, activities, and assessments, and create engaged learning. So again, one of the reasons I really like the SoftChalk modules, they chunk the information really nicely. They have hyperlinks to all of the sections that the student needs. The self-assessment option is awesome, and it engages the students. I mean, you have to click to go to the next page. You can click to look at exactly what you want. And again, it gives me an opportunity to be a little more verbose and talk to the student on a more casual one-to-one level. So for this other unit on preparing the laptop, this is again the duplicate of this in a PDF form. This is the file that I asked them to download, because this has all of the information that they need. So this tells them what the minimum and what the recommended are for both a PC and a PC and a Mac. It tells them the software requirements, minimum and recommended, and it goes through all of these things. So there's also hyperlinks so they can test the configurations for the different things on their computers. So this is a really good thing for them to have in front of them. And then it's not quite a self-assessment, but these are the other files that they need to at least look at that will support them in doing this. But this computer requirements checklist, so in the introduction, it explains what this is and how to use it. The learning module, learning guide for the module has the due date, and I've purposely kept this general so that I only need to change the due date on the course calendar or the learning module. But this checklist, I've already downloaded it. It looks like this. So what it does is it goes through all of the things that are on the learning technology sheet, and it asks them to let me know exactly what they're running. So once they put this onto their laptop, they need to include this. So while this is not quite a self-assessment, it does help in that they are provided a checklist of what they need, and can use this to guide them through the requirements. So, and then it tells you to drag the files here or upload it and submit it. So that is my Module 2 unit. I think I've created or covered everything. So I hope you enjoyed this tour. Thank you for bearing with me. I know this was really long. And if you have any questions or feedback, I would love to hear it. Thanks.